Writing down, no participants, just us.
No, just,
Okay, I'd like to call to order the. Down in Swanton Special Select Board meeting of August 6th, 2025, it is 6 P.M. First thing we do, if you please join us in the pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Amen.
Okay, then your review will start with Christina and work your way around the table.
I do not. We do not have the health officer, or I did. Not yet.
Okay. Cool.
I'm good.
Earl, I'm good. Under highway, I'd like to just switch D and A around. Yeah, everyone's good with that. I'm good. Brian.
I had originally put contract negotiation for executive session. The executive session, now the law has changed. First of all, we have to kind of say more just what it is for. This is a contract negotiation. For that, but it's not ready yet. So we're still working on it.
So we won't,
So we will not need an executive session,
at least for that.
for
Okay, very good. All right, so we'll start with the minutes, regular select board meeting of June. Would that be, oh, hang on.
Now that should be July.
Yeah, what was the date, July on our minute? Be right in front of us, right?
Okay,
Doesn't- What's that?
that's being here, that's a mistake.
Right, well, I'm looking on the minutes, I don't see a date.
Third.
With 15th. Okay, so regular select board meeting of 16 July 2025, I made a motion to approve. Second, motion been made and seconded, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor state aye. Aye. Opposed, so moved, yeah, that is. Public comment, this is for public comment on something that is not part of the agenda. So we open up for public comment, we do have a second,
Can you ask them to state their name and turn their camera on?
can you right now it says Emily's iPhone, can you please state your name and turn your camera on?
You can turn it back on.
Sorry, Emily Ledoux.
Okay, that's good, we're good, thank you.
Do I have to turn my camera on? I'm just,
No,
I couldn't make the,
you're fine,
Okay.
Emily,
thanks.
yep. Anything else under public comment? Okay, we'll start with law enforcement, Swanton Police. Before Officer Gagne starts, I just want to say publicly, thank you for all his efforts putting together the National Night Out. Went to walk around a little bit in the park and very well attended and seemed like a very good event for Swanton, so thanks for all your effort. What time of year do you start planning? Like,
I try to start as early as I can, but usually ends up like the early to middle of June. By the time I get started,
yeah,
every year I tell myself I'll start earlier and it just never works out that way, but.
okay, your nickel.
Alright, so this is our incidents for July. The top 10 incident types for July are 24 direct controls, we had 13 traffic stops, 5 suspicious persons. 4 alarms and then 3 for the following crashes, citizen assist, disorderly conduct noise, agency assist. Saying juvenile problems and 2 for motor vehicle complaints. We did 4 additional service hours for the month of July. 85 incidents total, 13 traffic stops, which were just 6 tickets, 11 warnings. All tickets and warnings that were issued were associated with traffic. We had 4 arrests, so 4 individuals. 8 total charges, 2 of those were associated with traffic. Next 2 pages are just all the calls that are. They got tickets and warnings that were issued. On the backside. A couple of those were one of those traffic stops resulted in a arrest on a warrant, which also resulted in an additional charge of resisting arrest. DLS, so driving with a currently suspended license on there as well.
Seems like a fair number of arrests being made because of traffic stops and
Yeah.
finding out that
So-
they're driving that shouldn't be.
Yeah, and that's one of the things too with traffic stops is as officer dependent, but try to identify everybody in the vehicle. You never know what you're gonna come across, what a passenger may have. They're not obligated to identify themselves, but most of them just need to try to be. So we had let's say this kind of gets stable together, but there's 3 arrests for in-state warrants. 1 resisting arrest charge, 1 driving with a criminally suspended license, 3rd subsequent offense after 3 years. 1 violations conditions of release, 1 aggravated assault, and 1 charge for burglary. And then the chart. The page after that, let's say top 10 incident types for additional hours, which were 2 agency assists. 1 community outreach, 1 motor vehicle complaint, 1 trespassing complaint. Looks like we assisted, one of those was an assist with federal fish and wildlife suspicious vehicle, I think it was out at like the Max Bend area. I think we assisted, looks like one of the assistant state police with like a rolling domestic that vehicle stopped in the town, so they were close by, it was Sunoco gas station, we assisted them with that.
Okay,
Just a few updates kind of within the police and part of that, yeah, National Night Out was last night, we had a pretty significant turnout, I think it's probably the biggest turnout we've had. In the 13 years that we've been doing it, I think part of that is also St. Albans didn't do theirs last night, so I think we kind of got some. Spillover into Swanton, which is okay, the more people the better, went through 300 hamburgers, 280 hot dogs that were donated between Hanford's and TDI that allow us to kind of give a meal to the public for free, as well as music. Every year I try to get as many vendors or local like partners as I can get there. So I try to get that bigger every year, so hopefully next year will be bigger. I don't know how much more we can fit in the park, but I'll pack it if we can. So as far as that goes, we just recently acquired a new to us vehicle. We purchased it through a company in Chicago, so it's a Ford cruiser from Florida, so it's have any rest or anything like that. Allows us to kind of save some money. Thankfully, we don't put a ton of miles on our vehicles. So we should be able to get quite a few years out of that. We're trying to keep up with like an aging fleet right now. We have a couple cars that are one the Swan Fire Department, I guess, is in work talks about purchasing, I think, as like a non-emergency response vehicle, as well as probably getting officers to training. One of our other cruisers is just old and aging out, and a lot of our new Ford cruisers, we've had nonstop issues with them in the shop, so. I think the one we're trying to get, the Ford dealership to repair the transmission, or we might have to try to like love the vehicle, because it's. Every time we get it out, it's a month or 2 minutes back to the shop, so. That's good for us, hopefully we'll have that vehicle up and running on the road, I think right now we're just waiting for equipment to come in. We recently got audited by the Vermont Criminal Justice Council, it's kind of the spur of the moment audit for them, so they audited all of our 2024 training records. Which went well for us. We do pretty good at training, like record management. So no issues there. One of our part-time officers, Kelly Nadeau, just recently took a forensic interview class, so that's gonna allow her to work for the Northern Unit for the Special Investigation, so she'll start taking more of the child abuse cases, child and adult sexual assault cases, that we usually have to try to get Newsy to handle. They're short staffed too, so some of the times, depending on the severity of the case, they'll take that back to us. Now we have an officer who's trained in forensic interviewing to kind of take that. And there's $20,000 worth of grant money to help fund her time taking those cases. So that's gonna be a big help for us.
That be in addition to the times you know already doing.
Yeah, so Kelly Widow is not a full-time
Right.
officer with us, so she picks up the shifts that are open or does traffic details. So this will be just an additional thing that she can take on, so if one of us, if we refer a case to Newsy and for whatever reason they don't take it, but it still requires more testing. We can then kind of take that case over to Kelly as almost like a position, but specifically this. And her time will be funded by the state, so.
Great.
We have one officer who's part-time right now, is currently field training, she's doing extremely well. Hopefully, she was full-time certified in Massachusetts, so hopefully once her field training process is done here. The state will allow her a waiver to become a level 3 officer like the rest of our full-time officers. We have one part-time officer who is full-time with liquor control right now. Who just wants to do work part-time for us, we're just waiting on equipment, but he's pretty much a self-starter, he worked for Vermont State Police out of St. Albans there, so he's really familiar with the area. It's just gonna be getting him up to date on the way that we do that paperwork. So we have one candidate right now for a full-time position that we're working on scheduling interviews for, but we still have 2 full-time positions open.
That would take care of one of the two.
That would take care of one of the two, but we're talking. Sending them to the full-time academy for 17 weeks.
Oh, okay, so
Yeah, he has no prior law enforcement experience, so it's, you're talking. Anywhere from 7 to 10 minutes to get them through their training, through the academy, field training and like. On the by themselves, so it's a time consuming process, we would love to hire somebody who's already level 3 certified, but. It's really difficult, every agency's hiring out there, so you gotta be able to offer something or be a reason why they wanna come to your agency, but we're just not seeing a whole lot of applicants. Which has also brought myself and Sergeant Bido to have a lot of conversations about of heading to like local job fairs in the area. To try to recruit. Most big agencies like Burlington and South Burlington have dedicated recruiting officers, we don't have that, we just don't have the staffing for it, so. But that's something that we're gonna look into, so hopefully in the future, we don't have an issue filling. We've had at least one of these full-time spots have been open for over a year.
Right.
But we haven't been able to fill it. So.
Yeah, making it kind of tough on everybody.
It is, we're making it work, but. It's difficult, yeah,
Who handles the recruitment now?
we don't have anybody handling really recruitment in and of itself, all of us try to recruit. Kind of like on our own, people we know either from other agencies or, just when we're out and about, other people come up and talk to us, but we don't have anybody dedicated, we don't have anybody going to job fairs right now, so that's hopefully. The end of this year, starting next year, we're gonna try to get to as many of those as we can. Because right now, we're just kind of have an ad on the Criminal Justice Council website, but aside from that, there's not really a huge push for recruiting. So we're kind of game planning how we can better do that.
I have a question,
Sure.
the 8 arrests that you made, were those local Swan people, or we get some kind of?
I don't have the exact numbers, but I believe a few. The in-state, the arrest warrant guy, he was, I don't know if he's currently living in Swanton, but I would say. Probably a majority of them are at least Franklin County residents, but yeah, most of them are locals.
Thanks.
Anybody else?
This one small thing,
Sure.
when it comes to vendors for National Night Out, you want people emailing it.
Yeah, so I have a list of vendors that I put out there, that I email every year, but yeah, people can email me, my email's kyle.gagne@vermont.gov. They can reach out to our Facebook page as well, if they're vendors that don't wanna come that way. I think I can see all of the messages we get on Facebook. So if they just send a message there with their email, I can at least add them to our list. So at the usually June. I go down my list and I send one email out to every vendor instead of like a mass email. But yeah, I'm always looking for new vendors and people who wanna come.
Anything else? All right, thank you very much, Kyle.
Thank you guys, have a great day.
Again, great job last night.
Thank you.
Okay, hi Susie,
Here I am.
got any health officer information for us?
So basically all month, I've just been checking the cyanobacteria, in the public beach and, in the two, boat launch areas. There is a caution at McQuam Beach at this time. Other than that, everything looks good. And then the other thing that I was dealing with is a boil water, on Sunset Terrace.
Okay, and the result or the cause of that?
Something about their pump house and they were doing repairs yesterday, but the boiled water hasn't been lifted by the state of Vermont yet. So I'm waiting for an email from them to lift the boiled water restriction.
Okay,
Susie, have you done any tests in the Cisco Bay area?
No, I haven't. The bacteria is mostly on the lake, so they want us to keep an eye on the public access areas. So I found small quantities on McQuam Beach, but there are none at the boat launch or the boat launch on Hog Island, on either side.
Okay, so I just missed this one. Part of the bay then.
Well, so I think like when you say the bay, I think more like Alex Campbell's area, Campbell Bay area.
Bay.
That's the closest to Campbell's Bay, and since that's a private area, I am not in charge of keeping track of their cyanobacteria. However, I did stop and speak to Mr. Campbell earlier last month. And he said that they do keep an eye on it, and normally because of where they're located, they don't have a lot of it. And it's this, I did stop in and talk to the owners of Lakewood, and they said the same thing. They don't have a lot of cyanobacteria in their area either.
okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, anything else for Susie, folks?
No.
All right, thank you, Susie. Next item of business is gonna be Maple Grove Estates regarding the road takeover by the town. I see a lot of people here who probably want to speak right now. First, we're gonna establish who owns the road right now.
My husband Edward came in, I'll be speaking for him. He cannot sleep
Okay,
due to health
Oh.
issues.
so we'll start with that part of it.
Okay.
And then we'll see how far we go.
Okay.
We have a road takeover policy, and then as part of a discussion up there. We had some warrants taken,
Mhm,
not by us, but by you.
mhm.
And borings came back, and there are many areas in the borings that are even close.
Not many.
Excuse me,
Sorry.
okay? I'm talking right now, and I can see where this is gonna go really quick.
Mhm.
And we will stop the discussion and we'll move on to something else for the meeting. Okay? Is that clear? Okay. So there's areas, the pavement itself, it doesn't have 1.5 inches over the top of it, it's only 2.5 inches throughout. Maybe the workforce was never put on, don't know, but that's what the boring come back and tell us. Some areas only have 9 inches of sub base when we want 18, one has 14. One has just 6.5 inches, one has 8.5 inches, one has 8 inches. One has 15 and one has 13. So it is quite clear by the borings that were taken. That this road does not meet the standards we require for a road. And for us to take over a road. So. I don't know if the board members have anything they want to add to that right now. But I don't see us with some areas only having 6.5 inches of base material. Taking that road over, there's 5 people here, 3 vote take it over. We take it over, but that is way less than what is required. And whoever installed the road is not consistent at all with how they put the material in there. So, you'd like to speak now?
Can I speak now?
Yes.
Okay. My husband. Okay. Started a development called Maple Grove Estates, okay? In 2002, you took over the first portion of his road. He paved one. He paved 2 layers. He brought it to state standards, A76. State permitting, state everything, okay? Put 2 coats on that. Town of Swanton hasn't touched that road in over 20 years. We put the second coat and did the exact same design, which we have proof of. Okay, on the second portion. Okay, that road is in great standards. You were at our development, Mr. Clark, and you said this road looks great. Okay. Okay, let me continue. Okay. That first portion of that road hasn't been touched by you guys other than a little patching at the bottom of Route 7. Into over 20 years. We're ready. We have pavers coming in to do the second portion that we did the exact same thing on. And the town of Swanton has procrastinated for over 13 years. Because he wanted you to take it over, but you needed a truck. You weren't ready. Town of Swanton, not you personally. But the town of Swanton promised my husband verbally, if he did the exact same thing in phase 1 and then phase 2, you would take the road over. Not you, but the town of Swanton. So if a town isn't good at their word, why would my husband spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on phase 1? Okay? And spend hundreds of thousands on phase 2. Just so when he gets to the end because of Act 250 and we had to wait so many years to finish the development. Okay? And all along he said, I want to pave it, will you take it over? The town of Swanton turned him down. He's told all these people standing behind me. My husband is a very reputable man. He does stand here today with dementia and cancer. He's at the end of his game and he's retired now. Okay? I don't want a stain on my husband's reputation. He's been a builder, a contractor, and I can stand here crying. I will not allow the town of Swanton to put a stain on him because you guys waited 13 years, and as you well know, whether it be Route 7, Kellogg Road, I don't even know, Route 7, any road, they're gonna settle after 13 years when you guys have procrastinated in taking over his road. He's begged you to take this road over, and you've told him verbally, if it's A76 standards, which I stand here today with a letter from Chad Brannon that brought it to A76, and we spent thousands of dollars with the state of Vermont. Permitting, storm ponds, you name it. Do you think if he thought that you wouldn't take his road over at the end of his development, do you think he would have put hundreds of thousands of dollars into that road? You yourself walked that road and you knew it looked great. But 13 years will wear on a road. Sir, and I'm looking you straight in the eye. I'm telling you, what do you have to gain and what do you have to lose? I have all these people behind me that live there. And why is it fair that you took phase 1? Because I would consider that a grandfather clause. Because if phase 1 and you guarantee to take phase 2, and then when he finishes phase 2, you say, we're not taking over any more roads. And now you're gonna tell me because of the core test sample that you don't want to take it over now for him after you let it sit for 13 years? Or the town of Swan, I don't mean to keep staring at you, but I'm trying to get this story out. My husband has done development upon development. He built Rockledge Estates on Kellogg Road.
Okay,
Okay, we don't get into
no, let's
anything
stop.
other than,
You made your case,
okay? And
so that, I saw the letter you're talking about, the engineer does not say. It definitively meets, he uses the words appear and other words.
have you
He didn't do
seen
it
the
yet.
letter?
I
he
saw
sent me
the
today?
letter,
No, I have a new letter.
but I'm gonna go back to the
He,
third. Excuse me, it's my turn to talk now. I'm gonna go back to, you can talk about 13 years, it's not an issue of settlement. It's an issue of what was put in the ground. Yeah, the pavement looks good right now. But that doesn't mean that's gonna stay that way. There's a requirement And this did not meet the requirement. It's that simple. Where is Pete in Missouri right now to talk about it? He said it doesn't meet the requirement.
When is it my turn to speak? Can I speak now?
I asked you a question, yeah.
I have my letter from my engineer, Chad Brannon, who built the road. Which I would like to give one to each of us.
Okay, fine.
Okay. And what he states in this letter is until the private part at the end. I only have 5, so I don't really want to share. And like he said, when it got to the end, if he wanted us to take a look at the other end. But he brought that to A76 standards with the state of Vermont, with all the permitting and everything else. He could not make it tonight. He had other things he had to do. He would hope that that letter would help in this. Private road, my husband and I, we just sold the last lot in there to a Mr. Pellerin. Okay, where the garage sits up there now on the curve. We were gonna live there forever, and in a perfect world, my husband wanted to be there to plow his own road at that other end and take care and maintain that end of that road. Okay, that didn't happen, but Chad Brannon brought phase 2 to its completion, and state of Vermont, we paid all our dues, but he's dotted his i's, he's crossed his t's. All you guys have to do is plow 2/3 of a mile up that road. It's not far. You don't need another truck. Heck, if you need the money, you guys, I could give you $10 to go the extra swoop. You know, we got pavers ready. We're gonna pave it for these people because Buddy promised them. Okay? And if you haven't touched the first part of the road in 20 years and done maintenance on it, with a new coat on this one, you probably won't touch it for 25 years. You know? Our storm ponds are up to date, they're accurate. What do you have to lose just to plow so these poor people can get their road plowed in the winter? The truck is already there. It's already there, guys. I mean, it's not rocket science.
All right, thank you. I see this letter, it does not, he even states he wasn't there to see the second part of the project.
You're losing me.
No, I'm just stating what this says right now.
Can I speak?
There are other phases of road construction that occurred after this, and I'm sure there's
Okay.
been wear and tear on the road over the past 12+ years. I'm talking right now.
Sir.
I'm talking right now. So you've given us the letter, we've had a chance to look at it. I'm gonna ask the board members if they have any comments right now. It's not just gonna be back and forth between you and me.
Well, I have a question, I know the reference to 876 standard, that's been around for a long time, is that the same? As what, these tests show? For 876, or these standards different than 876? I don't know.
This test isn't a standard, this test is just showing what is there. If you wanna bring in what you hired somebody to do, right now I'm talking,
Not speaking.
okay? They can bring in and show us what they built it to, but you've got a variation. From 14 inches. To 9 inches, to 6.5, to 8.5, to 8, that was not done consistently. That's just plain fact of what the cores show. And what you can see is along the center line. Is generally where it's thicker. And near the edge of the pavement is where they did not. Control as well what they did. Any other board members have any comments?
I just had a question, if it's okay.
Absolutely.
I think you mentioned that you had some early agreements, maybe they were verbal or whatever, the previous might be very useful. Did they have minutes of those meetings or?
They do.
You have them?
You should have.
Well, just please,
But you do.
I'm asking a question.
Every meeting we've ever come to in the last 20 years, whether it be with Joel or whoever, on this board, previous boards.
Mhm.
They promised him, if he brought the road to A76 standards state approved. They would take the road over. Why would my husband, Mr. Bourgeois, why would my husband spend hundreds of thousands of dollars? After dotting his i's and being a successful contractor his entire life. Why would he do any different from the first part of the road than the second? We didn't.
Okay,
We did the same.
My question was, and I think you answered it quite much. But and I go back a long ways.
Mhm.
Good guy. My question was, is there evidence of the discussions and decisions that took place? And you said, yes, there are. And they would be in our minutes of our previous meetings?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, if I need to come here every single day for the next 6 months to prove that, I've been at meetings with my husband when they verbally stated it, whether it be Jim Pratt. Or Amy or whoever, and that doesn't have to be the select board, this board, another board, but I've been in on meetings where they said. If we get the road to where it's supposed to be, and maybe I need to come live here for a while.
It'll appear somewhere in the minutes.
I've got a question. A76 standards, how deep is the sub-base material supposed to be?
I don't have my little engineer in my back pocket right now, so.
Okay, that's.
What I'm telling you is
That,
the road-
I'm talking right now, I asked you the question. And you said you don't have the information, so how can you tell me you meet A76 standards? When you only have 6.5 inches of base material here?
Because the town of Swanton waited 13 years to take over the road that was done correctly at the beginning of the day. And any road in any town is gonna settle after 13 years.
It's not a question of settlement, it's a question of the amount of material that was placed.
The amount of
If the
material.
material is
Thank you,
placed
the
and
first.
properly compacted. It's not gonna shrink in the depth.
Do you think my husband is unreputable enough to?
I'm not
to cheat on
questioning,
the road?
I'm not questioning. His reputation. When people let contractors do their work. And they don't have testing and inspections done then. Things don't always get done to the level they're supposed to, and that is common everywhere. And. Again, it
We-
doesn't meet the standards. You don't have the A76 depth to talk about, I guarantee it's more than 6.5 inches. It doesn't meet the standard.
Joel? Can I call you Joel?
Yeah, absolutely.
My husband. Has been a contractor, a businessman his entire life. You can't find. Between Autotown USA on St. Albans, anyways. Rockledge Estates on Kellogg Road. Gazebo Woods and hiking. Okay, he's built over 30 homes since I've been married to him. Okay, what I've lived in. He's never failed on 6 inches of anything. Whether it be dirt or anything, and I can guarantee you, I blame town of Swanton. For waiting 13 years, because any road settles, sir, any road will settle a little bit. What do you have to lose to pave this road another 2/3 of a mile up the road, so these people behind me are happy, they're not angry with. Edward Heeman tonight. They're angry with the town of Swanton because you guys are waylaying and half of the development gets their road plowed. And the second half pays the exact same amount of taxes. Which there's a lot of tax revenue coming out of Maple Grove Estates because my husband created it. For you. Why is it fair? Why are we having this argument with my husband? Has radiation in the morning, he has treatments for 5 days straight in a row. He's
Okay.
here to protect his interest.
The
And I get this.
medical issue is not for us to discuss tonight.
But why can't you just plow the road up to the end? We'll pave it. These people are happy. You're not gonna deal with it for 25 years and who else cares?
Anybody have any comments or questions?
I mean, seriously.
Well-
In a minute. I'll let the board members.
I guess I'd like to see the engineer either verified or not verified, it's the A76 standard.
He already did it. You
I
got
don't
the
see it,
paper.
on the information that's here for that, I don't see it.
It's right here. It's right here.
But I don't know exactly what A76 standards call for.
And it was done through the state of Vermont. Through local, state, everything. Hand that right to that, Mr. Fournier, so he can read it. And it was done when the road was completed, and you guys waited 13 years to take this road up. And I don't understand why we're sitting here now. My husband should be on a beach in the Caribbean somewhere. He deserved it. Maple Grove Estates is the most aesthetic development anywhere around Swanton, and if you can find one better than that, you let me know.
Okay, just for the public record, this letter is dated February 13th, 2013.
Exactly, that's when it was put to A76 standards.
Well, it does say from our inspection, it appears as though the construction of the road has been completed, drainage was installed in the general conformance of the approved design plan. The roadway also appears to be constructed to meet or exceed the acceptable local and state standards. Vermont Agency of Transportation A76. That was on 2013.
Yeah, can I comment on that?
Yeah, go ahead. I just wanted to see, because you had said it, and I'm sure you had a reason for saying it, but I didn't see it with the information you had. Now you do have that, okay?
Yeah, I've seen this letter. What it does not do is show us any data that it meets the requirement. It appeared. Our inspection, so they did a visual inspection. They didn't do any core test. As though the construction of the road and completed drain was installed in general conformance. Doesn't say
And
it
they did
wasn't.
do court.
I'm talking. You have the core test? Do you have the core
Can I
test?
speak?
Yes.
We had it, okay, sir. My husband has.
Don't worry about that.
We don't have a lot of paperwork because my husband has dementia and threw a lot out, okay, but I've spoken with these people. And we did the job and I was there when they did the core testing. Is that good enough for you?
Do you have the core test? The answer is no. We have core tests now that have been done. And it does not meet the requirement.
Because you waited 13 years
That
to
has
take.
nothing to do
Yes,
with
it
it.
does, roll
That's
that.
your opinion, that's my opinion. Get your engineer in Missouri to tell me that the reason those numbers vary as much as they do. Is because of the road settlement and 13 years of waiting. That is not the case. This just talks about in general, it does not show anything. Of any detail. That it meets the requirements, like buying a car saying it appears to run good. You get the car and you find out later it doesn't. No, that's not why I said that.
Well, and I don't think any of this is a joke.
I'm not making any of it,
Yes, you
I'm
are.
just reading exactly what that letter says.
Can I bring up one other issue I have with you
Yeah.
personally?
Yeah.
And you're on this board and I'm biased by you. Do you know why I'm biased by you?
No.
Because when I sat there with David Tudhope, who did all our engineering work as well. And I was at my development, at my cul-de-sac. With Peter Mazurk and. David Tudhope, Alan Norris, who's behind me. And Rick Wood was there too. And you were there with your man from the town. You came in, marching in. And I tried to explain to you that I was there to represent my husband, who has dementia. You treated me like a common woman. You belittled me. Which I brought it to the attention of many people here at this Swanton office. I think you should be removed from this board because you treated me like a common woman. You told me if I dared to speak again, you were gonna get in your truck and you were gonna leave because nothing I had to say meant anything to you. That you only wanted to hear from my engineer and David Tudhope, because nothing I had to say meant anything to you because it wasn't pertinent.
No, that is not true. One
That
day,
is exactly what
I'm
you
gonna
said,
speak now to those allegations.
okay?
You
Well,
came on,
Alan's
you
here.
came on to me as strong as you are tonight. With
No, I
your
didn't.
case, and I explained to
No, I
you,
never
I was
came
up
on you
here
strong.
to, that's your opinion. And I said I drove up there to try to make this thing work. When I talked with Dave Tuttle, when I talked with Peter and explained what we needed. They understood that. I was not trying to belittle you. What I told you, I was up there trying to get the answers that we needed. And make this work. And if you weren't gonna change your attitude, I was gonna leave. That's exactly what I said.
No.
Yes,
You're
it
trying
is.
to change your tune because you're on camera.
No, I'm not trying to change my tune at all.
They do have attitude.
This type of discussion is not helpful for the board to make a decision, I know
No.
it's personal.
I'm gonna get my husband
But-
home because he's
But, you know,
stressed.
because you have a lot of residents up here, we definitely heard from them before,
And they all want to speak tonight too. So I won't take up any more of your time tonight. No, we're gonna go home, hon, because you don't like anybody treating me like a common woman. Let's go. Let's go. They decide to not take your road, then
Yeah.
I'll tell you to your
When he
face.
had his hand up first, then we'll get to you. And then what I wanna explain in just a minute, we'll take some public comment. This is not a public hearing regarding that road. We're speaking with the owners of the road and so on, and I know there's a lot of interest of the residents regarding the taking over and the plowing. But we're not gonna go hours and hours round and around on the information, and at some point. I think the board members should say it's time to take a vote, of exactly what we wanna do or not do.
We have earlier.
Just a minute, this gentleman's gonna speak further. You want now?
Okay, so,
Huh?
so. I'm here to speak on behalf of everybody that's here, the residents. And I think I can answer a lot of your concerns and questions if you just allow us to. Okay? There's a lot of information that we have that we've worked on. So we would just like to still present you with that petition to take that road, and we want to explain more. We want to at least have the opportunity to explain more. We should at least have that opportunity. Should only take about 10 minutes or so.
Yeah, just a minute now, board members. The owner of the road, I feel is the one we should be dealing with. Just a minute, I'm talking to the board, I'm gonna give you another minute to speak now. But I want the board members to decide how far we want this to go tonight.
well, at some point in time, we're gonna have to make a final decision, you know, right now, I don't have enough information to make a decision, to be honest with you.
I do.
You know, because the 876 standards and all that, and the only other thing, is there is a homeowners association for Maple Grove, right?
No,
So who's responsible for the stormwater permits?
We are,
You are.
we're in the process of starting an HOA. These
Yeah.
people are hoping that you will do the right thing and plow their road.
But it's not just about plowing the road, it's
Yeah.
about maintaining it as well, and stormwater permits have a lot to do with it. And that becomes the responsibility of the whole community when the roads get taken over by the town.
Can I show you a picture from tonight on our road? Okay, talk about the town of Swanton and how well their roads are maintained up there. I have to turn my phone on, but I took a picture before the meeting. Coming up our road. The only maintenance you guys have on that road. Is cut down the grass to keep that development looking aesthetically beautiful as it is all the way through.
And I
And the
understand that.
grass is this high. I took a picture of it, both sides of the road. I've called Swanton, the Public Works many times. Can you kind of please come up and make the development look beautiful again? You know, in the winter time, you guys may plow that 5 times. Never see it with salt. It's always dirt all the way through. You know. You guys wanna pretend to be the greatest town in the world. Our development is beautiful. Up there, it's my husband's development. He's proud of it. He's worked his entire life, 2/3 of a mile, people.
In the past, I just want to clarify. We don't salt many roads at all in Swanton. 90% of them receive sand, which has salt mixed in the sand, so we're not doing something different up there than anywhere else.
Does that look like an aesthetic, beautiful development like you'd see in Burlington or anywhere? The grass is this high, and you can ask anyone, and everybody raise their hand if they're upset about how tall the grass is and Swanton's not taking care of it. Can anybody raise their hand in the room? Do they do much for you up there other than just plow it and do a pass 5 times a year? Raise your hand. I know I'm not getting anywhere with this.
For the other thing regarding roadside mowing, we don't mow down to 3 inches to make it look like manicured lawn anywhere.
No, but when it's this high like it is today,
I'll get that mowed. This is the
Right.
first time it's come to my attention. I'll get that. I'm just, you talk about just a minute, you
Yeah.
talk about comparing it to developments in Burlington. We don't mow to 3 inches
No,
to manicure lawns.
no, but
We-
this
we will-
is a little bit.
I just said we will take care of it. Right now, we are working on another road. When I get the mowers back out, I will talk with the road foreman and make sure we mow that down.
Okay, I wanna get back to the stormwater issue. You realize that the town policy for road takeover. Includes verbiage and requirements for the stormwater permits and. Basically, the homeowner association would be the primary. Responsibility, the town would be essentially a coal permit taker. Which is what we're proposing right now, which seems to be something that we can do and is agreed with the state. Which means the homeowners association would bear the cost of renewing the permit, it's not the town itself. That would, something that has to be done too as part of the road takeover, which wasn't quite the same. Way back, but don't blame us, we didn't create the stormwater permit law. But we are obligated to follow it. And this is what a lot of other communities, maybe you heard of stormwater districts, for. To be taxed, to maintain that, so this is something we gotta deal with, that has to be part of this road takeover too. Besides the A76 standards. They go basically hand in hand.
Derek.
One quick question, contract. Do you have? Core samples done on all your other roads to compare to? Did you have core samples on any other roads you've taken over?
We have made it as part of our policy, we didn't have a road takeover policy.
So the road takeover policy was put into place after we petitioned you first.
But that has nothing to do with the quality of the road, you're saying it was built based 76 standards, it isn't.
Are any of your other roads built to 76 standards that are currently part of the town? County Road, Middle Road,
Yeah.
Comstock, you know what those were, you know what those road bases are?
Yeah,
They're gravel. I lived on Bushy Road, I saw when they took the road tiller and ground it all up. There was just dirt and gravel. You know what's underneath our development? I contracted my own house, dug my own foundation, you know what I found? 10 feet of gravel. That's what's below your stone, your 6 inches of stone, it's pure gravel. You know what happens to the water? I have a horseshoe driveway, it comes into one ditch and it doesn't make it to my other culvert because it disappears in the ground, that's how the drainage is. This isn't clay, this isn't sand. Just wanna bring that to the board.
okay, then I will, have you guys seen the report from the engineer? Okay, Al, hang on, I'm talking with this gentleman
I
right now.
haven't seen the.
So, in front of the camera, we're saying 15 feet of gravel. His report says fine sandy loam. One area has ledge, but a lot of it is fine sandy loam under there, doesn't say gravel. One of them had one of the 6 tests. Says it is gravelly from the 19 to 24 inch depth area. So, again, I'm just showing you what is part of a core sample coming from the engineer. As far as the issue of how these roads were built years ago. Roads were built 60, 70, 80 years ago, yeah, they weren't built to the standards of today. That doesn't mean when a developer comes in. And wants to make a development that there isn't requirements made on how a road should be done, and that's exactly what was done. Was it should be done to A76 standards, which requires a certain level of base material. And we don't have that amount of base material. If the property owner. Would come to us and show us that it meets A76 standard. That would be a different story, because then we'd have a discussion whether our town requirement. Is a little bit more because we think that's what it should be. And the development review board at the time used A76 standards, we could have that discussion. But we don't have that information, and Al, if you can show me.
No, I'd just love to present.
No, can you show me the A76 standards?
What is the A78? What are you asking me?
Can you show me that the road base material meets the A76 standards?
I need to present.
No, I'm
No,
not,
because you're not allowing me to tell you why it doesn't meet them.
if it doesn't, okay.
You're not
okay.
allowing me.
Give me just a minute, if
Okay.
it doesn't meet the A76 standards, it is time for me. Or
There are reasons
It's
for
not-
it. You're not allowing me to even tell you the
If it-
reasons.
What I'm trying to say is if it doesn't meet the standards, A76, whether someone. We're not interested in taking it over.
Do you understand the drilling rig that was used? I can go. on
I'm not
this.
questioning.
Do you understand the
Listen,
drilling rig that
listen,
was
I'm
used?
not gonna
It
question,
was a per.
I am not
drilling machine.
gonna
It
question
hammers,
the report
it hammers down.
out. I'm not gonna question the report from Peter, Missouri. Whether you agree with the type of equipment I used that was not. This is a report from a professional engineer on. The cores taken in the area,
Civil engineer, not geo, civil.
that's fine.
No, well, no, I don't wanna talk about that.
No, we're
No,
not,
see-
folks,
You're not allowing
that
that.
level of discussion.
You're not allowed, you're not allowed.
I'm not gonna talk about whether he's a geo or a civil
But you
engineer.
don't wanna listen to what we have to say.
No, that's not.
No, you don't
Not
wanna listen to what
completely
we have
true.
to say.
Well, I think at this point in time, this is degenerating into something that's not gonna be very productive, but. I think there's a solution to this, if this engineer issue isn't comfortable with both sides. Get another engineer and get it redone,
The redoing may never even.
and if you've got an
You're not-
explanation, that engineer can put together what he feels that road, why this road is, why it is and why it.
Folks, you waited,
It's fine
you
to
waited,
take
you
over.
waited 13 years, can I?
If you
explain?
got an engineer,
You waited
if you
13
can get
years.
an engineer to put that in writing, I will take it under consideration.
One of
Right
them-
now, I don't see
one of
anything
them
like that.
One of them already put it in writing.
Well,
Did they not?
sort of, not completely.
You're parsing the words, you're parsing the words.
I know.
Karen.
I read the thing,
What do you do with the other roads that you take over?
the same thing we're doing right now, but the town is not taking over any roads in a number of
Do you do core
years.
samples? Can I ask that? Do you do core samples?
They should have been done. I have never
Do you
personally
have-
taken over a
do you have
road.
a Sample that you can provide to me that was done on any road.
That, they'd have to go back and look through the records.
There isn't any records. I asked everybody in here, both Brian and the town clerk, there's no record. There's actually no record of the certifications. And what you really do, is what I was told, is you take at par the engineering certification. Or acceptance of them making a statement that the road is up to a town 3 standard. That's what you do, and you don't parse words and you don't question.
Well, I go back to what I said. I don't really see what you presented here tonight.
You didn't allow me,
That's completely
you did not
different.
allow me, you didn't allow me.
Well,
He's not the.
we're at the point right now, can you give us copies of that so we can look at it?
I
We
can,
can make a decision, I mean, this discussion's going nowhere.
I can absolutely give you copies, but
You know-
you won't allow me to present what I have.
He is not the
10
property
minutes.
owner, he is not the road owner. Yeah, I think it's time to stop.
We are.
I understand that,
we are-
Joel,
we
but
are
I
the-
think
we
we
are the
need to
best-
listen, they will
we are
be
the best-
eventually responsible for it.
They may never take that road over from the property owner, from the developer. We don't know that.
We are,
We have been going now for almost an hour. And we're not getting anywhere.
Getting anywhere and.
we have been affected
More
by
information.
this, we have been affected by this. In several ways, even by you folks, we've been affected by this. You are the ones that told us that there's a 5% discount given on a road that's private. You've taxed us for the last how many years and didn't give us the 5% discount because you expected to take the road. And you told us that.
I did,
Yeah, yes, you did.
I did first.
It's personally right in the last meeting in June of 24. You did. You told us that.
But we did expect to take it over and we got the results, and we got the results that it doesn't meet the standard.
But you're not allowing me to explain.
No, I'm not gonna allow you to explain.
Are you not interested in the information? Is that what you're telling me?
No, I'm interested in information coming from the people that own the road right now.
They're in a barn. You delayed the road for 13 years.
Yeah, you guys keep saying that. That doesn't.
Do you want me to give you the quote of the last chair foreman? In the
No,
meeting,
no,
back
I
in
don't.
2012, you want me to give it to
No,
you?
I don't.
Say you don't wanna hear it.
No, I don't. I've heard enough tonight. It's not gonna change the way the road was built. Sir, you want to talk?
I'm gonna go, I'm just gonna talk.
Can you say your name, please?
James Foster. Just to be clear, so I understand what I'm hearing from everybody, is that there are requirements that have come about at some point in the last few years for how a road such as this development road should be built, and you're referring to the Corps taken there to make an analysis of whether or not it meets it, right? That's one thing that's happening.
Yes, and to answer that question, the requirement was made at the time the development was approved, not something new from when that road was constructed. The requirement for the Corps is our way of determining that it was built properly.
So getting back to this gentleman here's question from before, I'm sure not all the roads that you plow meet that requirement. And you haven't taken course in all those roads, and there is. Since it's been there for 13 years, and when was the approval made? That you're talking about, does it go back to 13 years?
The approval for that road to meet A76 standards would have been a requirement when they came in for the subdivision.
Yeah, so it would probably A76, I think, believe came into play after zoning got enacted. So you're talking late 70s.
So your question regarding core, and we're not gonna core our existing roads. We already know they don't meet the requirements.
And I already know you won't either.
So yeah, okay.
That's not the question, what I'm trying to point out is. This seems a little isolated and a little bit pointed to this particular issue, just for. I understand you gotta the maintenance of that road, but it's not a very long road and it's holding up as good as any road I've seen in Swanton. And it's just a little bit more plowing. So the scale of the decision that we're making here for the town of Swanton over. This seems to be a little bit. Over the top for the benefit for the people that live on the road for a fairly minor, in my opinion. Discrepancy with what's being done with the cores and what it's reviewing. And especially in light of the fact that. I can go around and point out roads that I know don't live up to this road. All over Swanton that are being maintained, so it's just that, I just wanna bring that out and let you know, I mean. It's hard for those of us that live on that road not to know that.
Okay, and we have another new development coming forward. They want us to take over the road and we're gonna require the same thing. Core.
No, I appreciate that you guys have standards.
Yeah.
Very much appreciate that. It's not a question of questioning why you have standards. We all benefit and we want them.
What would stop the next road people wanna take over from requesting an exception? You guys are requesting an exception, we got these standards, if we ignore them this time, then what prevents the next time? Or the time after?
We'll have to. Jump over that log when you get to it.
You shouldn't be doing it for standards.
And but it's not just about the road construction, it also has the stormwater permit issues that need to be talked about, and we haven't even been able to conversate about that, and that's a huge.
That's a huge.
Ask not only to you folks, but to all of the community.
I am Todd Minor, I've been away from side there, 26 Maple Road Estates. I mean, those correct, you're mentioning, those are all gonna be conditions to this approval of the road, the stormwater. That's all conditions, we can talk about that will have to be done before you took over. So that really isn't irrelevant right now, we're just trying to get the road taken over, those things will be conditions. It will have to meet before the road's taken over, so that's kind of not really even a question. Because you're not gonna take it over till the stormwater drainage is all up to par. And the humans, the ones that are gonna have to do it, they've already said that they would, because they wanna get this road over, so it's not as much as the money, is getting this road taken over for the residents to live on. And also, I guess one more last thing before I probably get up and leave, because it's pretty much not going anywhere, anyways, this meeting. You talk about core samples, this is all revolving around core samples. The engineer was dead honest about his core samples, and that's why we're here today, and that's why we're, out at the point we're at. But how many other engineers that take core samples And they just write down what you wanna see, because you don't verify any of their core samples. You have nobody that will physically be up there when they're taking the core samples. To eye them, video them, whatever. So that was my point. The engineer was honest, that's why we're here, that's why we're getting denied. If there was an engineer that was getting paid by these people. He could have wrote down whatever you want to see on that paper, and we would not be hearing you. I agree, correct? Is that
If you,
correct?
no, well, if you find, if you find an engineer.
I'm just saying.
If you find an engineer who's providing false information.
I think
You
there's a lot of
provide
that.
that, you provide, it probably is.
Yeah,
But if
I
you
think-
provide that to the right agency, they will no longer be able to sign.
And I understand that, we can all agree that it's done every day.
I'm not gonna say one way or another.
No,
Without
but-
proof, that's
But I
your
can tell you right
opinion.
now, we all live in a world where it's politics. And that's what I'm saying, he was an honest engineer, he wrote down what's there, and that's why we're getting crucified for it, the crooked engineers, we could be sitting here, you'd be just running it right through the great green tape. Be done. That's the way I look at the whole thing of this poor thing, yes, a little like, then it comes ethics, like you said. Everybody drives up there, you got a beautiful development, and I'm not gonna waste any more time. Because the point of view is. We're not really in court here, but I feel like I'm in court. I've been to zoning meetings before, I've been to court before, and I'm not here. You guys all made your decision up before we even walked in here. Y'all had your little powwow, I understand that, because I've been to zoning meetings before. And it was all made. And I do feel that you are got a little personal vendetta against Vicky, and I think you might have wanted to step down. That's my personal opinion, and I'm gonna tell it to it, just by the way I saw you raise your voice. And treat her in here, you shouldn't be raising your voice. Nobody should have to raise their voice, nobody on the board, if you don't want us to raise our voice, you should not be raising your voice. That's pretty simple, pretty clear, we're gonna leave, because I've said my words.
Well, I appreciate your words. She
Yep.
jumped in while I was trying to talk, so I
It's
stopped.
all on the record now, that's all that matters.
I guess
You've done the same to everybody in this room.
Yep.
And we didn't yell back.
Mike, me over.
Well, I don't think a final decision's been made by the board yet. We need more information. I think you guys need to, consider. The issue we're in, and the liability that could possibly be the towns in the future, other town taxpayers. We have to consider them too, but, I haven't made no final decision. I don't think, most of the majority of the board has yet, without some final information. And. Appreciate you guys coming here, but I think it is time to move on to the next issue. And, hopefully we can get some more information, but it's gotta be real quick.
And I'm still chairing, that's just.
Okay,
being kind of silly, but
Alright,
for the record, we had no meeting previous to this tonight. To discuss this, the gentleman just said we did, not true at all,
That's not
you guys
true.
got in here like 2 minutes before. We had no previous meeting here, so I just wanna make that clear for the camera, yes, ma'am.
My name is Judy Ashton, and I live in this section with all these other lovely people. We have all been working together to compile information to present to you. Alan has taken the lead, but many of us in this room have worked with him and compiled information that we think you should be hearing, even though it doesn't talk about the core standards, although Alan has stuff around that. I was also director for the health department for 20 years. And I've been to a lot of select board meetings and council meetings. I don't think I've ever been to one where somebody was so disrespectful to people in the audience. And it is, I'm ashamed to be here in the town of Swan.
Yes.
And listen to how you're treating citizens
Yeah.
who pay your freaking taxes.
What do you think pays your taxes?
We pay our taxes and I've never, Vicky was brought to tears. I'm almost brought to tears. I've never seen anything like this. And then you don't wanna hear information because you have a time limitation? We seriously have worked together and we all want what's best for our section of the road. And we don't see any difference between the first section and the second section and the stormwater. We've said we wanna work on it, but you're just focused on this one core sample. And we're not even, I'm not gonna go on. I'm just saying. This is the most disrespectful board meeting I've ever been to in my 20 years of being in the health department. I'm now retired. And I've been to a lot of them, and I'm just really ashamed to be part of town Swan.
Okay, for the record,
But-
I'm gonna apologize.
Doesn't matter,
I-
Vicky's
I-
gone, Vicky's gone, you
I'm
can
not-
apologize all you want.
I'm apologizing to people who are still here. If there's any more. Meetings where we're talking about Maple Grove Estate, I will not move the chair. I will,
Good,
yeah, that's what I'm just saying, I'm apologizing if that's the. Then I'm. Sorry. I was trying to speak at the beginning and she jumped right in. And again, I made my I've made my apology.
but it's not just you, everybody else is complicit, there's.
I really wanna get back to the point, I'd like to be able to read that gentleman's information, that's what I wanna read it. And I wanna see what he's got to say, and I'm hoping you're gonna have some other kind of engineers that'll have an opinion, a clear opinion about it. And that's what we need to see, okay? Let's not carry this on, this is what we need to see, go home and get it and leave, send us a copy.
In 2013.
I got everything.
Yeah, send us a copy, okay?
2013, the biggest problem that happened is when Bud asked for you guys,
You don't,
not you guys, to
he's
take over.
got it all documented, let us read it.
We don't wanna do it right now. It's the old
When it's compliant.
network, yeah, it was like, that's all it's in the minutes, Bud asked to take that second road over.
Well, let's see the information.
Sir, last one, last members, please stop discussing here.
So-
They're
I'll keep it short.
Andrew.
As I stated before, I used to live on Bushy Road. When I. Watched them repave the road, they took a huge rototilling machine, ground up the paving millings in with the dirt. And paved over. If Vicky was to have that road remedied and meet your standards, what do you think they would do? If you were to repave that road 20 years from now, what are you gonna do to our road? Are you just gonna take a big rototilling machine, which you did for Bushy Road, which you do for all your other roads, and you repave them? And you rototill on the top surface, you don't grind it up, haul it away, they literally rototill the surface in. You don't check for depth, you literally just rototill what's there, you go over it, it was done in 2 days. If Bud and Vicky were to spend the money to remedy our road, so you would take it over to put an 18-inch base, which costs a fortune, would be a complete egregious waste of money for them. To bring up the standards, would it change a thing? Would it change anything? Because in 20 years, how are you gonna repay? You do the exact same thing you did to Bushy Road. You don't give a crap what's under the base, you're just gonna mill it up and pay. When you're expecting them to spend the money to bring it up to standards. 18 inches, you know how much that is? Have you ever seen how much that is on a road? No road in this town has that much, but you want ours to be for some reason. We're asking for your grandfathers. This isn't Bud and Vicky's road, this is our road, at the end of the day, this is what's trying to have happen. We bought that place expecting, great, the bus will come to our door. Great, we'll have bus pickup, well, my daughter's gonna be driving next year, so. Forget it. Don't even need it anymore, things for nothing, we've paid thousands of dollars in taxes to you guys, and we've got nothing in return. Nothing. Nothing, guess what? I pay for a portion of the fire truck. Police cars, ambulances, they can drive up there just fine, but the town plow truck, no, can't do that. I understand there's other portions, like you said, of the maintenance and stuff. What maintenance? You haven't done anything in the first section, nothing. You put a little pieces of tar patch pavement that you got at the hardware store and some potholes at the end, which last for about 3 days after everyone drives it all out. Come on, guys, come on. Serious.
Do I hear a motion to close discussion?
Could I just ask a question?
Yes, Steve, absolutely.
I'm kind of interested in your report. If it's that thick, can you make it this thick? Can you summarize it?
It's not that thick, I have a copy for all of you.
Okay, that's fine, just, I'd like to.
I have a copy of the petition that we were going to present, I have a copy of all the AI research that was done. Answers a lot of your questions, and your points about the base being, even the machine that was used. So if somebody can tell you the machine that was used is not the machine that should have been used, but guess what? That machine is a percussion machine, it hammers down to get a sample. That thing can create all kinds of error. I even asked the AI research,
how much error is there in that percussion tool in inches? It didn't even want to quantify it because it can be so much for all other reasons. They don't use percussion machines for core samples. But that was used. You know why it was used? Because you requested a core sample to make your decision to get confidence on this board. Not something that's normally done from this board, not something that's normally done, but you did request it. And you got somebody trying to do what they're gonna do, and they went and they hired somebody to do it, and they got the first person they could available to come up there. And that person used a percussion machine, not a core drilling machine. Core drilling machines are a lot more expensive, they don't disturb the sample, they go in straight, they don't get deflected. All of the things, it's all here, all of the reasons, and oh, by the way.
We need to see that.
Yes, and all kinds of AI research about what happens when you let a road sit for 12+ years and then do a core sample. You wanna do a core sample, do the core sample when the road's put in. You want 18 inches or whatever it is, make sure that those people know that. And have somebody up there to inspect it at that time, which is what that engineer did. He says it in his note. Does he not say that in his note? Read the last part of that letter he sent to Vicky. It says it in there.
Now, I'm done the discussion.
Okay, and we're parsing over the word.
I'm done the discussion. If the other board members got questions, fine. I think if we're going around. in circles.
So. Can I just.
Absolutely.
It doesn't even matter.
Yes, I do have a presentation. It was. Weeks, couple weeks to put this together. This is not quick. We spent a lot of time doing this. And we're not even allowed to present it.
Well, I'd like to read it.
Yeah, me too.
Certainly.
We need to see it.
Look, I commend you all for being here. This is not an easy job. It's not great fanfare. to Be here and have to decide what to do with the town's money. And I get that. We all get that. But we pay a significant amount of tax, and to take care of that whole road, it's 1/4 of what we pay in the highway tax. 1/4. We give back 3/4 to the town for all the other roads that people may have one house on it and go for a mile. I
Not
don't
up to
know.
that standard, probably.
Most likely they
Can I
are.
continue, guys?
No, I think it's going on.
I'm gonna make a
too long.
motion.
Now, I'll make a motion that we end the discussion, but we need your information, okay?
Motion's been made and seconded to end the discussion. Is there any further discussions? Is there any further discussion?
Yes, I have a question on the floor.
We're not gonna ask that until we take care of this one.
Oh, okay.
Any other discussion on the motions?
Please read it out.
Very well.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Opposed, so moved.
Anybody else?
Hey, put your phone number on the top.
And this was that was the petition. This was just a line item. I guess you don't really need that. You've got the petition.
Okay, we're gonna move on to the opening bid received on the surplus dump truck. Right here. Actually, folks, why don't we do a lot, right?
Yes.
Lad has been waiting here for quite a while.
Whatever you guys wanna do, doesn't.
No, we don't need this.
An hour there or 2 hours here.
You have anything for tonight?
Yeah,
You
you're
want to send it?
You're getting paid, aren't you?
Oh, yeah.
It goes 4 more hours.
All right, the board's okay with it. We're gonna go to 6A.
That's the verb.
Okay,
That is the circle.
all right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
So all the work has been completed, the building's been put back together. We had a lower door test done. So just to give you a little summary. The original blower door test was at 0.84. A leaky building is considered 0.6. And then the standard energy code today is 0.3. So when all is said and done, the library came in at 0.52, which is between the energy code and a leaky building, like with that term. But considering, I mean, did we do a lot of work? Yes, we did. But we only really dealt with the attic and we dealt with the windows. We didn't do anything in the basement, we didn't do anything on the first floor, we didn't do anything in this. So lowering that infiltration by 42%, I think.
Yeah.
Plus, we improved the thermal envelope. So I think you're gonna have a nice tight build, tight as we could make it with the work we did. And you shouldn't have any more icicles, and we took care of the entry as well. Vermont Gas is gonna give a rebate, and I was really kind of disappointed in the amount. They're gonna give a rebate of $4,800. And what we did is I had Brian put all the invoices towards the project together and sent them to Vermont Gas. And when he first told me the number, I said, "Are you kidding?" I said, "We couldn't insulate the building if we didn't move the ductwork. So in order to insulate the building, we had to move ductwork. That's part of the cost of insulation. And you should be giving us something." He said, "The way our incentives work, I can only do it based on insulation and with the blower door test results. But normal buildings, you don't have to move ductwork."
Yeah.
And he just wouldn't budge. I was real, and I told him, I said, "I'm really just," because there was a lot of effort done. And I know how your incentives do, but this was a unique situation. But about $4,800 is better than no dollars, so I mean, it is something, I was hoping it would be. So.
But the job ended up costing less than what we had budgeted.
That's right.
So.
It ended up costing less, and we did all the entry on First Street, right? Yeah, on the First Street side, which when we opened it up,
It was bad.
it was really bad, so.
There were issues there.
Yeah.
Right.
And we found some other stuff that maybe sometime in the future you may wanna attend to or anything like that, but. I think you're gonna be pleased with what we have, and there should be some cost savings in fuel. Because you get a better thermal envelope, you got less leakage, so there should be some cost savings.
Saving cooling too, shouldn't it?
And
Oh, yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
and cool, so yes, there should be some savings. So I think it turned out well, I went up, inspected it, the insulators did a great job, and. Who's the guy, I'm gonna remember. Patrick, you know, a lot of times we said Pat, and he just at the last minute and like, no. Other stuff to do, and I mean, he really came through, he really did, and he was always concerned, oh, someone's gonna say I didn't come to the plate, but he came to the plate. He worked really hard, and when we needed something because some of the other contractors that are on there, he did step up to the plate, and you guys should hear that, so. Next time you see me, just say, appreciate your diligence on this project, because he did, there were times, you know, I gotta go somewhere else, but I'll get a couple guys here.
Yeah, just that whole entrance.
Yeah.
The level of effort they had to put in at the last minute.
Yeah,
make
to open
that
it
work.
up and all that, I totally agree, and he did some stuff up in the attic for the insulators, so he really. I mean, I just wanna give him kudos, because he really did, so
Make sure you get that word to them.
Yeah.
And I really wanna thank you for the interest in this whole thing from the beginning.
That's what I did.
And what it took to get
Yeah.
to this stage,
Yeah.
And it seems to have turned out to be,
Yeah.
very good and a big improvement to that building overall.
Yeah.
Efforts are greatly appreciated. In fact, I'm gonna throw it out to the board. I mean, you mentioned there are a few things that we might need to wanna do in the future. We do have a capital reserve fund that we have, you know, maybe if we had a list of what you thought the future, you know, what might be, you might be able to work one of these things in here and there. On the list.
maybe we should put in this solicitation.
Or what?
Towards the station. It's getting tight.
The station?
The roads.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
I think
well, that's something that's on our agenda.
Yeah, I mean, it's got some rotten stuff that.
That's on the agenda.
Yeah, I saw it, that's why I figured I'd bring it up, but it needs a little TLC.
Yeah.
Because there's rot where we really don't want rot and. You know, I always tell my clients, you know, they're gonna become renovation.
Yeah.
Just, you know.
The longer you wait, the more it costs.
Yeah, and it's true, and you know, it's just, you know, even if you paint one side and then you paint on it's something. But it just needs some. But, you know, one thing we noticed when we tore down the entry.
Yeah.
We were above the ceiling, there's a window. On the original library that faces towards the ocean. It's just, it didn't look blocked up, didn't look insulated, but we didn't have time to.
Yeah.
So it's little things like that.
Yeah.
That, you know, maybe at some point we go through it when you're ready and think, let's let this settle.
Yeah.
See how it works and then you can go from
Well, major improvement, major
Yeah.
improvement.
there. It should be good.
You did a lot of stuff you didn't bill us for, you know, I appreciate that.
I was trying to be fair, I mean, there was
Well, I know.
a few things here, but
That was my-
I wanted to keep it where I said I think we would land, you know, I made a couple extra trips, but. It is what it is.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
I just got one question. I was at a library trustees meeting and they were discussing the light fixture that fell down. And I remember you and Brian were discussing whether or not you needed to actually replace that light fixture.
We're not all about that. The one in the reading where the books are up front. I forgot all about
I thought we.
We were
Initially,
initially okay, and now like for now it's okay.
it. Yeah. And we were gonna look at that, if it was okay, we weren't gonna do anything, if not,
For
we're
now,
gonna.
now we're gonna look at it.
Yes, it gets darker during the day while they're there, let's see. Yes, Brian did mention it to me, and yeah, that's right, we decided, let's leave it, see how it works, if we have to replace it. And then in the fall, like Brian mentioned, when it's darker earlier, if it's too dark, then we'll do something.
That makes sense, I just wanted, the library board was in the camp of, they just wanted to replace it. But.
Well, nobody sits in there and reads.
Right.
Stop it to that room.
Yeah, and we were kind of focused on spending money somewhere else where. We
That
need to
one
spend.
picture was $2,000 just for the picture.
Maybe the other ready, Jeff.
They could.
Yeah, I think again, there was another bank not too far, so I mean, the question really is it needed versus
Yeah.
one?
And if we find, you know, in the fall when it's darker, if they really find. If we can find something else that's a little less expensive.
Yeah.
Well, no, we wouldn't do it, you gotta do something that's humble.
Lower
But
head.
we'll see, I guess, yeah, we put it up because. We had the summer, but
That makes sense.
but I did, you know.
That was gonna be part of the library issue we're talking about.
I figured it was bring it up here.
No, it's good, no, it's good.
No, the only thing is, we're pretty happy with this discussion and, you know, like we should let the trustees know that that's, you know, what the select board, is going with, you know.
Yeah.
So that they ain't running around.
Yeah.
You'll get that info back to them, right?
Yeah, I'll get that info.
Yeah, and if we find it's too dark and they say, no, it's not, working, we'll find, maybe we can find something that's less expensive. The one that was in there to match it.
Yeah.
Inexpensive.
Yeah, it's awful expensive.
Yeah.
Well, I did it first, I was the electrician, but actually, I'm going to about $2,000 or something. Oh.
Well, maybe it is.
They were still also worried about what some of the things happen to other ones. So they want those checked as well.
Other lights.
Other lights.
We have
Make sure they're up there.
Yeah, I haven't heard from them.
Alright, and that wouldn't be.
Well, I thought
Yeah.
I thought they like to check, I asked them to check them. Say,
You did, okay.
well, I asked them to, so.
Alright, anything else for Laz?
Thank you.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay, we're gonna jump back
Do it
to,
right in that.
Sorry?
Do a few investments.
See what happens when you voluntarily put in a message.
gonna jump back to, board A. We did receive one bid. On a surplus dump truck. Brian has it. I don't. Agree.
This is all it is, Gilman, Handyman Services. The bid for the international dump truck. You can keep the plowed wing, and my offer is $3,500. Thank you, James Gilman.
That's the only bid we had.
That's the one bid we got.
If he doesn't want.
Yeah,
Plowed.
plowed wing.
Love the body. No. You ever get a blue book price on him?
No. It's running about 12,000.
That's what,
Now, I don't know how accurate that is, but if you look at the offerings out there, 12, 15,000, similarly equipped. Truck, weight, I don't know, a different brand. Orders,
yeah,
25 to 35.
I understand that, but. Is that what the prices that you're bringing, does that include plow and wing or no plow and wing, just
It's just the truck.
just the trunk and the dump?
Yeah, the problem is that motor, as we know.
Yes.
Is what. Shies everybody away from even any interest in really taking it for trading.
It's long ago.
The. Fairly new with the emissions.
Oh, okay.
And it's something that we've put thousands in almost yearly with that truck, down the road, you start all of a sudden losing power and then, you lose, the truck for a little while you had to get parts and,
That,
get things repaired.
that engine, well, it's so bad that international. Big.
What if they have a replacement for that?
I've heard anywhere from 30 to 50,000 to replace it.
Well, I'm sure.
Mid miles on that truck?
It was 70 something,
I mean, really low,
78 or 70, yeah.
And basically, it seems like a lot to consider for.
No, I don't know.
Well, we don't wanna go that route, but someone who, that's why I know. There's very little interest in that vehicle.
Yeah.
Let's take our money and run with it.
No.
I should wanna keep advertising it somewhere.
I don't know if someone else wants to investigate it, I don't wanna spend a lot of time on it,
So I say this time to get his check.
Well, I would counter offer 5.
30 seems a little low,
Yeah,
can't even buy a use.
I mean, if you're talking in the 8 to 12,000 range. 5 isn't unreasonable with that amount of mileage.
Someone wanna make that as a motion?
I'll move that we counter his offer for 5.
Or a second?
I'll second.
Motion's been made and seconded, any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Opposed, so moved. That's right, you'll be here. Awarded the bid for new work.
All the keys out. It'd be $5,000, I'll put these in your hand.
Awarded a bid for new work truck cab and chassis.
Okay. Last meeting, we had open bids, as you recall, and the apparent low bidder was for a 2026 F-250 style side pickup. And now all the specs that we look for, Kevin and I, and that was EJ Barrett, for $46,000. But there was just Kevin and I went through. There was an additional list of options we could have added on. Kevin was good with not adding any of them on except for one. I agree. And that's the wheel well liners, front wheel well liners. Used to be you bought a truck and then the inside of the wheel wells were covered up. Well, now that's an option. And that's $180.
Okay. But add that to the.
We just add $180 to it.
So the price is a little bit.
It is a 2026, it'll take between 8 and 12 weeks. Possibly could be as little as 6 weeks, but 3 weeks, 12 weeks, somewhere.
One question, do we test drive these things or have a mechanic inspect them? Well,
It's a brand new.
Brand
Brand
new,
new.
being ordered brand new.
this be like brand new. Okay,
The test drive, it's,
yeah,
we'll take possession of it, and one of us, even that size truck, I can drive to your garage.
Hey, yeah, you bring up a good point, after that international motor issue. Maybe we should.
Because we had the noise limit law.
In the world of vehicles, who knows what you're gonna get for emissions, but. This says does not include document fee and state taxes. Well, we're exempt from the state taxes, so there might be a document fee, but we're talking 46,000 plus 180.
They're talking
Plus a
three,
dollar.
like, a couple of bucks.
Right.
Well,
do we
I
go-
don't register you, that includes your registration, and the registration is very
Free.
reasonable, it's free, is it free?
We don't pay for registration.
So we go, do we say up to 47,000, let Brian handle the paperwork?
How's that gonna compare us with the other bids?
But the next lowest was 48 or.
New car, we said we weren't initiating it because they tried to sell us the body piece.
Yeah. Total sale price, and this is for a used, not used, but a 2025 was $47,033.
So it was 1,000, 1,300 more to start with.
Oh, so that was new car, was the other one that Andy tried to sell us the bottom, the back of 70,000. We said we weren't entertaining that one.
And we also can't lose sight of the fact that we're actually taxpayers.
Right.
All the family and the dwellings and everything else, so I think that rings well in my view.
Well, makes an easy decision because he's a little bidder.
I realize that, but even if it had come a little bit,
Yeah, a little bit close, yeah.
You tip it, yeah.
they've been paying taxes for a long time.
the only car dealer in town, right?
That's what,
Only car dealer.
New car.
I'll make a motion for
I'll move that
47,000.
we appropriate, what, you want. $46,500, I think would be enough to cover it, 'cause you don't know what that is.
47.
They get 47,000,
Case,
up to 47,000.
I'll second.
and that might be authorized to sign.
And that the town administrator brings up, so I sign all the necessary paperwork. Complete the deal.
how much should we have in our reserve fund, you guys, for something like this?
In the town is like 160 or something, there's like 160. Motion's been made and seconded for 47,000.
And that's,
New truck cab, and Brian would be the one to sign the paperwork.
we included in the motion that the money come out of the truck fund.
That's where it'd be coming out, yeah.
Yeah.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor state aye. Opposed, so moved.
John, it's just a side, I've got that price is contingent upon us signing up on the board fin, it's their fleet program. The battle with the computer trying to sign up, so John and I are gonna get together. Either his shop or my shop up here on the computer, and he says we'll both swear at it and probably get it to work, so. This is a program, I know the village belongs to a town, Burlington, it's what Ford has for fleet sales. I know it has some benefits to us.
Yeah, well, you better off to talk to Sarah, really. If you want.
Well, I-
Computer stuff.
But with this, but I'll be calling them first thing in the morning.
Yes.
Alright, real quick, Swanton Hill project update, today they removed the last of the material that was blasted. The blasting was completed about 10 days ago on a Friday. We awarded the bid for around 70,000. Kudos to Ledge Tech for being very fair to us, because the lower section was a fair amount of gravel underneath the road surface, and then you get up to the middle section and there was a lot of ledge right there. And then as you went east, there was a lot of fill material there, so instead of the 70,000 approximately for the contract, they sent us the bill for 45,000, so. That was very good on their part to say, look, a lot of this we didn't have to blast and.
When they were blasting in that ledge over, they hit any springs or anything.
No, there were a couple holes where they had a little water at the bottom of the hole, but overall it's dry. I got photos here, I mean, we took over 9 feet down in one area there, and our crew. Lot of work, and they had to go across Reynolds Road, dirt road, washboardy, and luckily we don't have any dental bills right now for all the banging around that happened, but. Tomorrow they're gonna get some of the crushed stone material in there and so on. And I wanted to ask you guys real quick. Do you want me to get 2 or 3 bids to try to get that paid this fall, or do we give? One company that's trying to do work with us, that can to give us a number and see if it's close to what. Like Pike we're giving tons of work to this year, not only what. They came in and bid, and then we got the grant, so we gave them almost another $190,000 worth of work. Total to them is over $500,000 worth of paving.
Who's doing the work up there?
What's that?
Who's gonna do the work up there? For paving?
Well, that's what I'm trying to ask, you know, I'd like to. Personally, I'd like to get a bid from Hungerford's, they've been trying for a couple of years to get in. And they just did the village, that section on Lake Road. They came in very close to the tonnage,
They just did with yeah, they've done a lot of work for the village, has always been happy.
with that,
They did a nice job on Litchfield.
yeah.
Edmund Avenue.
My question, Joel, would be, is it, you know, because we get so late in the season for that base to settle in place, is that an issue or?
I don't see that as a big issue because it's lead, a lot of it's lead right there.
What's he putting in for stone?
It's a graded aggregate, it's called dense graded aggregate from Borbo's. It's the same stuff we're using over on the LVRT. Yeah, it's good quality material.
Yeah.
They put that in there, they run their trucks up and down there several times, they're gonna pack that in pretty tight. I think we'll be okay, I can't guarantee we won't get a little settlement in that 360-foot section, but. The good news is we'll be able to pave one end of the road all the way to the other end of the road and Reynolds Road, all with the money we have right now. In that we set aside for that, so. I'd like to get that bid out, if you guys were okay with that, and we took a look at it and said, no, it's.
Kevin feels the same way about paving it right off, like,
Oh, yeah, I talked to him.
yeah. Well, if he's, you know, if he's comfortable with that, I'm comfortable with it, and I don't see why we just don't get it done, we have, we saved the money on the blasting, we should have plenty of money to cover that. We get it done.
And we're gonna have a little bit
Yeah.
left after that, so we're, that's going well up there.
Cause that, part of that.
I think it doesn't make any sense, should we put a cap on it, just not to exceed $something.
Well, I would get a bid and I'd come to the board,
Yeah.
the next board meeting with a number
Yeah.
and explain per ton what we're paying right now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't, no way I would,
No, I'm just for
right,
our discussion.
yeah, we're talking somewhere between 80 and 100,000 for paving. But I wanna get an actual bid and present that bid to you, but the pad work sort of way.
I agree, I think any bidders are fair.
Yep. And then the other one, I meant to do this at the beginning of the year, but. I really feel we should pay a significant portion, if not all, of road foreman's phone bill. The guy gets calls all day while he's on the road, it's not just at his house, like the other. People working for the highway department, we only call them, and we gotta bring them in, but Kevin is using that, has dropped it a few times, working around culverts and different things. It's not a huge dollar amount, but to me, the amount, the time he spends answering people's calls and everything. I think the board.
I'm surprised we don't pay.
We never have, and it's never been brought up, and we can easily find the money to pay his annual phone costs.
They were upgraded with something, yeah, I didn't realize he was using his own money.
The road foremans for years have, and it's time to build that into the budget for.
I mean, I'd be willing to give him $100 a month for his phone.
I'd like to find out what it is.
Yeah.
I know it's less than that,
As
but
long
I
as-
mean,
as
yeah.
long as the board is comfortable, I'll get some numbers and
And the
we'll take it out of the highway.
The phone number he has published on the website.
Yeah, and-
Contact him.
all day long, he's getting calls on the road. I mean, I know he's got the landline at the garage, but you can't conduct a lot of business
And
when he's a working foreman.
And then
Not every day.
when he's on vacation.
They're not ever in the
so he
office.
doesn't use this. Somebody could call that number, you can answer, but then directs Patrick to take care of it.
I always assumed that wasn't chemical.
I was shocked when he told me, oh, it's his phone.
All right, I'm bringing it up. If everybody's comfortable, I'll get numbers.
Yeah.
That's good. All right, Old Town Business, LVRT, if you drive by there right now, you're gonna see the foundations are in. A lot of backfill has been done. We are having issues with the wood for the stuff that goes on the foundations and the wood for the fence, country of origin, issues like that. Hope to resolve that in the next few days. They have a 19th September date now for completion, not 1 August anymore. That was a conversation working with the state. Gotta work and try to get this thing done, but a lot of progress has been made in the last couple of days.
Some of the delays probably aren't the contractor's fault.
I'm not gonna say that, I'm not gonna say that.
In addition to your update, I just would like to hand out everybody to have some of the spray literature that the Agency of Transportation is sharing about our portion from Cambridge to Swanton. We are still looking for trail ambassadors for that piece of trail. And if you are interested and use the trail and would like to be a trail ambassador, it is a small volunteer commitment, and you can please reach out to me at the rec department.
Joel, we had a target completion date.
Contract completion date went from 1 August to 19 September.
Okay, so we should be safe if we want to do a grand opening of that. In October. Or do you want
I would not say that right now.
okay, so
Next meeting, I would make, hopefully you gave or maybe say,
we want the governor and all that.
I know, I understand, and I want nothing more than have a grand opening and,
Okay,
but
no, it's best to wait, so put it on the radar. Yes, yeah,
I will say they're very cooperative though. Trying to make this all work. Land swap update, that must be you.
yeah, and there's really nothing new to report, heard, I asked for an update from our attorney and she. Said that she was not heard anything, she was attempting to contact the other attorneys, so.
Okay, welcome to Swanton Signs,
They just follow up on that,
Yeah.
and make sure you don't hear having, when we close our next meeting, ask again, so we get out there.
Well, I don't get this, why,
Okay, so this isn't in color on page 6,
It is underneath though, they should have it.
we,
this one.
This two pieces.
Oh, okay, there it is, all right, so they're separate in and out right now.
we need a, colored photo.
2026, I put that in the budget, because it helps with certain things, so anyway. What I did is, I've been working with a sign company in Enosburg, they took the logo, they put it on the sign. We took out Poma because that was controversial when this went out for some public comment, so right now it's got the town of Swanton emblem. It's got the village emblem, it's got MVU High School, it doesn't say, Poma, and then it's got Missisquoi Abenakis on there. So. If we're ready. It's time to tell them to get 4 of them, I know locations, we can have that discussion, but let's get the 4 ordered if everybody's good. What I want is $2,100 a piece, we agreed to and approved $10,000 total, so that's $8,400. And then if people don't mind, and we have another item. Down below, it's well, oh, here we go. We assigned it to BFW that 8x16 sign that the BFW originally was looking to put a mural of Swanton. And if you take a look at this sheet, here. Talking with the folks at the VFW and the Promote Swanton kind of push. Would like to possibly do this, it would be a light blue for the 8x16 area. In the middle would be the Swanton, Vermont. State of Vermont crest on the right, United States crest on the left. That would be with some paint and everything, we're talking maybe $1,100, it'll all be within the 10,000 we originally allocated. I don't know if people like that or not, putting that there, but I think it would help just call out. You're driving in, you see this welcome sign, and then as you drive up the hill by the bridge. That's what you would see.
It hits you right in the eyes. That line is where it is where it should be.
And it's gonna help detract from what's behind it, was what the original intent.
Yep.
Working with the Swanton Enhancement Beautification Committee, next year there'll be some shrubs going up. Beside it, probably some flowers in front of it. But if people are comfortable, these are three separate. Not trying to stick anything onto the plywood and have it come off. I talked to the sign guy and I said, what if you put it on aluminum sheets? And then we would just screw these to the sign. And that's what you would see when you come up the hill by the bridge.
Need a motion for that?
I think we've already approved 10,000 for the signs, if everybody's good with that, that's. the way-
Well, that's it's VFW owned sign.
VFW, it's on VFW property, VFW, I've shown it to the leadership there.
Who put the sign up,
Boy Scouts did it as a project. Yes,
I mean, the only other issue is that you're gonna probably have to find some other location, but there should be some kind of village directory, like a sign. Left or right up here, for stores or.
I think that's it, we can talk about that more when we get to the
Yeah.
next one, I like the
Well-
idea, and I think it's welcoming to the village.
everybody's good. We're gonna get 4 signs and we'll get this and then we'll figure out the location. All right. Update on Friends of Northern Lake Champlain meeting, Bridget had asked to meet with Brian and I, so Bridget Butler is one of the ones who came there. We met with her, a very positive meeting, she's just a big advocate for trying to connect the dots between the state. Environmental folks, the state agricultural folks, and trying to do things to improve the lake. Did tell us that they've taken that project on Lasner Road off their books. They're not pursuing it. And if there are things that we wanna ask them to do, if we wanna do any type of public meeting about lake quality. She can help set that up and get folks from the environmental side of the state, and so on. So I don't know, Brian, if you wanna add anything, but it was a good meeting after the, meeting we had regarding the project.
She recognized obviously that there was some lack of communication going way back on that beach project and on the road. And I went through every email, went through every file, went through everything. And there was no mention of the Longyear Road in any of it. There was the Swanton Village Beach Project, the beach project, and then they came in with this. It's like, so she understands that there was definitely a lack of communication, but they had some changes in staff and whatnot, but something that will practice.
Well, we appreciate the trying to help us, I mean, we've got to help the lake, and this didn't work, well, let's keep moving forward.
Okay, library issues, we got anything else, Nick?
Yeah, the other thing was the historical society room, apparently suffered some damage. They just wanted a timeline on when that might be.
Well, so all I could see in there was one ceiling tile.
Okay.
So that we gotta find the ceiling tile but I wanted to talk about the ongoing, what had happened was the Thursday, the day before the 4th of July, so July 3rd, we had a monsoon hit the village. And it hit the rain was being blown sideways. There was, in the 30+ years that this village sewer systems have been separated. There was actually in front of the library, I noticed on Grand Avenue, there was water going over almost to the top of the tires of the cars. So the storm sewers couldn't handle. Abby had called me and said there was some water that came in the basement. Then she said, well, I located the problem. It blew under the front door. So it wouldn't front doors, it blew under there, just settled on that marble floor and eventually seeped in. So there's a little job like that. It probably have to try some weather stripping on the bottom of those doors. And then find somebody to do put in if we can find just somebody with one great size tile, maybe we can just pop it in there. But then I'd like to kitty it up with the Railroad Museum building issues. Now, as Laz pointed out, I was Jay Barney and a couple of his student interns. I met with them on a very cold day back in March, and they showed me the rock and whatnot that's there. Because we were busy with a lot of stuff, and so then I would like to just get not a formal bid, but just to have maybe a couple of our local contractors just go down, give us a price and see what they think needs to be done, and should be done.
Have Laz looked at it himself?
Apparently but I haven't had him do it, but
I'd like to see what his recommendations
okay, I can give him a call.
Yeah, I think it.
Are you gonna focus just on that issue, Brian, or are you gonna have them take a look-see of the whole building?
Well, while he's there, there's the way I look at it, there's immediate need to stop the rot that's there and repair that. And then to then go, you know, what should we be doing going forward? Yeah, maybe it needs to be painted now. Maybe 1 or 2 sides a year. Painted. So yeah, I can get plans, but then just go from there and get a couple of contractors, give us an idea what the cost would be.
And I feel like we're at a point where that thing's gonna blow up on us here at some point. Because for whatever reason, maybe we haven't been kept up to date as to what has been needed over the years, and then it's gonna hit us.
Yeah.
And it's not gonna be $1,000 issue.
Yeah, we did replace the roof. Shingles here, on the 22 time carter. No, 18, 19, yeah.
Would be good for Laz to take a look at it and give us a plan and what needs to be taken care of first and what.
Yeah, when you pay them for 2 hours.
Yeah. Very good investment.
Last week, was all the village water meters had changed out. And so I had an appointment last, well, actually it was this week. Whatever day, I guess it was last week. And no, yesterday was the insurance stuff. Anyways, I'm the contractor that the village was hired to do this, so they had an appointment, I went down, met them there, and it's the first time ever I've been in the basement. Basement's in good shape, because it's relatively new, compared to the rest of the building, and it shocked the guys that were installing it. They said, "Oh, the whole building up to make us," I was told by their office it'd taken 2 hours. This is new, the building's old, but this is new. I said, well, we moved and sat on top of this. No, they had it done just so, but it's yeah, I'll get it from
I'm just saying it's something for the future.
Oh, absolutely. So that's, I'll update you on that, get plans down there.
Sounds good. On to community economic development.
Yeah.
Report on downtown safety improvements on site meetings.
The village of Swanton had a meeting in the park, started in the park, the bandstand last Thursday. 10 o'clock in the morning, and the local business people were welcome to come, and anybody could come, but there was the local businesses, the residents here on Church Street, myself. And we gave a tour, they've got a grant to do some traffic and safety, pedestrian safety improvements in the downtown area. So we should probably wait on any signage.
Yeah, that would be,
I think some of the plans pretty good. First of all, what they're going to be doing is looking at this at the end of Merchants Road, where the apartment building burned down quite a few years ago. Village owns that, and they're going to expand that into a parking lot, so they hope to get maybe 20 to 25 cars. They also will expand that property line goes behind the stores on Merchants Row, and they hope to expand that so they get some more suitable parking there. The crosswalks will get realigned. There'll be bump outs that come out so that the Dean Ryan was there, so that'll be something to plow up through. But it will make it more pedestrian friendly and less room for a person to cross the street in. Some of the crosswalks will get moved because they're very dangerous where they are. The thing that I've it's engineered, VHB has done the engineering work on it, but there's gonna be a 3-way stop at the corner of First and during that.
yeah.
That's, I'm not sure how that would work, but we'll see.
In theory, you think it would work because it would let them trucks get out, because sometimes people just won't let them
Yeah,
turn out.
I said about the stop.
Yeah.
I said, well, we'll be back about in about the middle of the library. So not
That would be an issue, yes.
for an experienced 18-wheeler driver, yeah, but I've seen some who are not that experienced.
And trailers are getting longer.
Yeah.
Yeah, they need to come all the way across, whenever I see my stop, right by the post office, that's what I saw.
And so that, we'll see how that works out. So this will all start probably in 2026 and go into 2027. And then when that's done, at some point, if there's local matches involved, they would like to also do some work on Canada Street. So that's, I think it would be, it'll dress up the downtown more. And then we had a further discussion on certain businesses in town, and walked by one that doesn't appear to be open. It's a new business that opened, but it doesn't appear to be open.
It was today.
Oh, it was today. Oh, okay.
I haven't seen it open either.
I just asked a question, are they gonna do a temporary upgrade of the crosswalks? Cause it's been pretty much non-existent, they just.
Oh, it's just painting them?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they're going to, but I can ask.
Yeah, I mean.
They're planning to paint, but they're behind with everything that's been going on this year, cause they really try to make sure they're all in before school starts, and we're not that far away from school starts. 3 weeks.
You're all know, there's a, first of all, the downtown Swanton looks really, the plants for the restaurant is and the bakery and every place you go, it's just well done. But, and there's also a lot of people downtown now, which is great to see,
Oh, yeah,
but you take your life in your own hands, because people aren't gonna stop.
that's for sure.
So maybe if there was just some fresh paint on there, so when you paint down to them, as you get into the finger, they could try to slow that.
And one of the other things too, they're gonna build up the front of the Merchants Row, so you'll have one less step.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I said, well, originally there were 3 things in front, we were gonna put a pile of asphalt on there and build it up. So yeah, those are all, but I'll ask Bill.
Yeah, just, and.
I know they're doing a lot more sidewalks too this year.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
They have grants for more sidewalks.
Anyway, downtown is beautiful.
Yeah.
It really is.
Anything else?
No.
Alright. No, so I'm not there.
Alright, we got, this is what it's gonna kind of look like on that page.
This is just a list of the businesses that have
Businesses, yeah.
shared for the
That'll be
business.
on that
partners,
new
so-
page. That'll be good.
And I've shared this now with the website developer, so they're gonna start really putting that together. And as they trickle in, they'll be easier for you to put on, because it'll all be sorted. But the businesses that have shared their information with us are really excited about being a part of this and just by seeing this and how robust this list is already, gives me great hope that
Yeah,
what we're doing to help promote them is.
we still got a lot of work to do, you know, I've visited some of the health providers, we visit the churches, we've joined the churches involved. We still gotta catch the individual contractors like Menard, they're from Swan, right?
Yeah, well, he lives on the front of the road, maybe, but he basically swaps, yeah.
But then he doesn't, his business, does he have, he does he do his business at Highgate?
Well, he does it out of his cell phone, so I don't know where he.
You know, my house
He owns a house on Route 7.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
alright, yeah, alright, no, we gotta get him the thing. I'll call you as soon as I can and leave you what we need from.
In addition to that, the youth intern has continued to move on the brochure a little bit. There was actually a really nice piece on WCAX that they came in and talked about the internship program with MBSD. And so our brochure has already kind of made its debut to the state in a sense, but here is just another draft of it. Please let me know if there's anything else you need to change. We are still waiting on just a clear map from regional planning, which I did ask for last week. We talked about what it would cost to print. I did a couple of different quotes or research on printing. To print 100 of them at Vistaprint, it's about 113 or $1.13. I can read my own handwriting. 250 of them would be 74 cents. There's other companies like Uprinting where we could get 1,000 of them printed for $250. So that's something.
Yeah, we should be able to get this done in time for the grand opening of the.
Would you want to start with a smaller amount, please, you want to changes?
Sure, absolutely.
I think the 250 is the way to go right now, yeah.
So the cheapest I can find for 250 is 68 cents a piece.
Yeah.
For printing, and that's on a nice glossy, very similar to this, but it's just at an 8.5 by 11.
You got the budget for that?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then one of the things that Earl keeps talking about is signage. But I have another term for it is wayfinding, and it's not just in the downtown district, it's everywhere throughout town. I'm amazed all the time by how many people don't even know the rec centers there, people that don't know where Marble Mill Park is. So having, just thinking about what we as the town can do to not only support our partners in the village, but all the people that come into our community to find those great assets that we have. And I did just kind of put together some samples of I only made one copy of this, what wayfinding looks like in other communities, if you wanted to take a look at that. And it's really just, different things for different signs for different things. I know you need pictures.
This really is a good discussion to have right now, because we should do something special for that trail at sign wise.
The Agency of Transportation is going to in their maintenance plan have some signage they're gonna put in.
Like, and where they plan on putting it and all that, we should have input into that.
So.
It's all part of, it was all
It's all part of their standard of what needs to be done, there is like the backside of the kiosk where we can put some information,
But we can also put stuff on the part of the Swanton Fit and Healthy path to direct people from the trail into Swanton,
yeah.
so it could
Yeah.
be, downtown this
Yep,
way, or
yep,
parking
yep.
this way, or trail shuttle this way.
As our the healthy trail goes, say, stops at Grand Avenue, so you have direct
Yeah.
signs go that way.
Yeah, we'd have to consider some of those things right there and then over to, yeah, yep.
But part of what we paid for with the logo design is they're going to send us a branding guide that will give us more information on what directional and wayfinding signs are going to look like, and we should get that by the end of this week. But just something to continue to think about. I think we should consider budgeting for additional signage coming off the highway, you know, of course, that'd be a talk with the village, but also coming off that trail and or coming in from West Swanton or New York, because that will help guide people to where, you know, not only our industrial parks are, but our downtown businesses, our parks, other assets that we have that could really use to promote our community.
Yeah, I could see having something right by the stores. You know,
Yeah.
and then something over by the restaurant, you know, so if someone comes here just to eat, and all of a sudden says, oh, there's refuge, you know,
Yeah.
it's got trade. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, we got a lot of work to do on finance, you know, and I think that's part of what we're gonna have to budget for, in small motion, at least put a small budget together next year. Yeah, yeah. And I want to bring up something else before I forget, is we actually we had it on a website that you could sign in to get notice of what's going on, right? Well, I was never running, but it is running now. You know, that, so I'm gonna have to get out, and I think it's a very important way of communicating today, unfortunately. Cause I'd rather go talk to people, but now it's through emails, and I know I go through them too, and just throw most of them away, but if I saw something. From the town of Swanton, yeah, of course I do, but you know, I'd probably take a look at it. But they still got the option to just throw it away, so they can't say they haven't been getting notices. And it's just to get to get it set up, once it's set up, it's just a click the button and it's gone.
It's all part of when I post stuff on it, I click.
Yeah.
And if anybody signed up, they've been getting plenty of spam.
Oh, I love
Because I've been sending lots of them.
Yeah.
And you and the village, I mean, I think it's great to
Me,
post
I
it
didn't
today.
click to include the village ones.
I think we've been you know, kind of behind the 8 ball, not communicating with the community that way. But the thing wasn't even set up to run, but now it is.
Yeah, and that wasn't our fault, that
Yeah.
was Eagle Pixel on there and he fixed it and he was doing it the next day.
Well, here we are,
It's one avenue, but yeah,
it's a neighborhood one today.
yeah, there's still a lot of people say that, no, that's not how they get their information, but yeah. Positive improvement,
Motion for the brochure, right?
they got the money.
You got the money?
Yeah, that's that line item
Yeah.
that you originally got this, they got some balance in it. Okay, any other necessary business?
It's not on here, but Fourth Street, has there been any update on that?
In regards to,
Are we waiting on the state to?
it's,
Betty was
like-
gonna get lists, did she?
it's.
No, the our.
No, we're talking
Oh, that,
about
That one.
No, we're still waiting for the state. Or,
Too many Fourth Streets.
after they're sending the final report, the engineers still have to send the final report this week, then.
well,
Can you take a note to follow up with the engineer
Yeah.
and see if they've done it or not, cause they did the testing quite a while ago.
you know, I think we should put some kind of. Notification there on the property, maybe a poster saying, you know, that's in the progress of getting cleaned up, and we anticipate using it in 2026. This is, cause there are some people that are kind of whining, you know, you guys want that property, ain't nothing going on there.
Well, people ask all the time. That's
I mean,
why I'm
it's just a
asking.
simple thing. Put a stake there with something on it, you know,
Well, let's wait till we find out how much longer we're gonna have.
Because I'm sure they're gonna want to test some.
Exactly. I think it's probably a good idea.
well, we'll just change the sign next year.
Alright, correspondence, got anything, Brian? No. Public comment? Ms.
Yeah, I
Brian?
believe Emily. iPhone wants to talk.
Oh, Emily.
Okay,
Yes, thank you. So my name is Emily Ledoux. I live on 87 South River Street. I had spoke to, I think Brian, and I think my dad had spoken to a few of you guys. I'm just kind of asking the town if they would consider putting up guardrails around that corner. Our house kind of sits back. We're in the yellow trailer where Brian Hilliker used to live. I've been here for about 5 years now. We've had multiple people just drive straight across our yard, completely missing the corner. I just had an 80-year-old take out our mailbox 2 weeks ago. Multiple accidents. Just kind of asking if it's a consideration. I have kids, we can't play on the front lawn. And then we did put up some flashing poles. I believe it was, I don't know if it was the village or the town when the bridge was closed. And we were really thankful for that, but as you guys saw, multiple poles got hit, destroyed. I looked on Google Image on my house because I was trying to find pictures of accidents. And I think I sent it to Brian. You can see clearly just tire tracks across the yard. So yeah, that's why I came tonight.
Go ahead. I do drive past that all the time and I noticed that it does not look safe. Someone, yeah, it's a bad spot.
Yes, Emily, sorry you had to wait so long tonight to speak, but your dad actually called me and I've talked with the road foreman. We're gonna short term get some delineators back up. But we are getting a price for guardrail. We'll see what that price comes in and where we are with a couple other road projects. And also there's not too many companies that install guardrail. To see whether or not we can get it done before winter. It is a concern, a very valid concern right there. And we're gonna see what we can do. Put a lot of fill in there would take up almost half of your lawn. But I think guardrails is probably gonna be the best solution if we can run guardrails at least halfway or 3/4 of the way down your property line. So we'll be, if you could get your contact info to the town administrator and he can get it to me and we'll keep you updated. That sound all right?
Yes, that sounds amazing. Thank you.
You're most welcome.
Well, a quick question, when are we gonna get the quarterly financial report from the rec commission? I think it was due at the end of June, we should have had it for the period ending June 30. And now we're into August, I'd just like to know where that report is, because I think we're supposed to get a quarterly report.
You are correct, and we're got the they've been gathering information for the 2024 audit. So first week in September, we will get the highway, general, and the rec.
Okay.
And a lot more will be paid off by that date.
Hasn't been paid yet?
Not that I know of, but it will be.
Why not?
Steve, I don't have that answer.
That just makes, I don't get upset over a lot of things, that upsets me. I was a director, it paid off. Somebody decided not to pay it off, and that is absolutely not right, they don't want, somebody did not take an order from the select board.
Okay, that's something
That's,
that,
if you can put it in the minutes, I don't care where you put it.
Okay.
Okay?
yeah, I'm just letting you know.
No, I'm not blaming you.
No. So we're gonna do that the first week in September, the three budgets that are controlled by the town.
In addition to public comment real quick, the Missisquoi Valley School District has been working on their strategic plan. This is something that the kids have been working on, that are leaders at the rec department, so I wanted to share that with all of you. And then at the last Northwest Regional Planning Commission meeting, they have their draft plan out for 2026 to 2034. I only have my copy, but it is online. I do recommend everybody to review it and share their feedback with Nick or I, so that we can make sure that Swanton is well represented in that draft. And then during that meeting, there was a great presentation by the Vermont Futures Project, and so I brought just their one pager to share with you folks. Because I thought it was very fascinating about how they're projecting growth in Vermont and that whole, but there's also links to view their whole report, which is also another really great read.
Okay, under public comment, I just wanna put in a kudos for the Swanton Chamber and the Swan Pond project. There was a lot of volunteer hours involved. Several people, they're gonna make a plaque for several people, but I wanna specifically, and I told Herb that last night as he was grilling and donating his time and his company's time. The amount of time I saw TDI vehicles there and their workforce doing stuff gratis is pretty amazing. They really did a lot to bring that project to completion, and I think it's worth a shout out from the select board to them. That's very nice, and it's great to see that thing's back operational. I know they got the back fence waiting on material. Nice job by everybody involved with that.
Motion that we send DD out a letter thanking them for their efforts on behalf of the community.
They're early in the.
I'll second that.
Yeah, okay, motion's been made and seconded to send the TDI a letter. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor state aye.
Aye.
Both, move,
Another person that me and you talked about, since Susan Washburn. With her work at the Swan Pond, all the hours that she's put in. So I would also support doing some sort of recognition for Susan, since she's been out there. Working her butt off.
what do you recommend?
I would recommend a letter. I think that would be a good thing.
Everybody good with that?
Yep.
Do a couple letters, all right, I think we already proved the others, so we just, yep. Upcoming events,
Saturday, August 9th, 2025 will be the third annual Corn Fest at Swanton Rec, 3 p.m. to 7. There is a 5K starting at 2, as well as a cornhole tournament. Tuesday, April 19th, 2025 will be the regular select board meeting here at the town offices at 6 p.m. Thursday, August 28th, 2025 will be a DRB meeting at the town offices at 6 p.m.
There's also a Board of Civil Authority meeting next Wednesday at 10 a.m. And all, of course, all members and select board are members of the Board of Civil Authority, so everyone can attend.
when that's what we're,
Tax abatement and.
Oh, we are part of the board, but
Yeah.
Tax abatement and agreements.
we haven't seen no notice anywhere, I haven't seen it,
Email, it's on the website,
it's on the website.
that's posted.
I mean, I guess as a, if we're a member, which I didn't even.
Yeah.
Like that, I think that would.
Email
yeah,
you all the agendas, I'll Nick got it, I'll email you all the agendas,
Yeah.
the agenda tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't know what problem is getting paid.
But
It's on that agenda. but-
Well, it's people who are
the
grieving.
law is murky
paying
when
their
it comes
taxes.
to tax abatement and appeals for grievance. And I was told by the Secretary of State years ago that select board is supposed to be in favor of the listeners. So the question is, well, how can they sit on the Board of Appeals?
I've never heard that.
This came right from Paul Field. Very state.
We do a little research into what's the latest, because I really don't wanna go to another meeting and if we're not really supposed to, I don't want.
Required. A trustee, that's what it's told. Still be followed, that's just. So.
Okay. Executive session we're not having unless someone has something new.
Well, move to adjourn.
I just had one other quick, I wanna know who's responsible for not carrying out our orders to pay out that loan. Somebody has decided not to do what we instructed them to do, I don't know who it is.
I think we need to ask the rec department then.
Okay, can I make the motion to adjourn?
Motion made it adjourned, there's a second.
Okay.
Motion been made and seconded. Any other discussion? All those in favor state aye.
Aye.
Opposed, so move.